Welcome to Career Spotlight presented by Educational Opportunity Centers, EOC. My name is Bill Leonard. I'm an academic specialist with EOC, and I'll be your host on this career exploration and discovery journey. The objective of Career Spotlight is to learn about careers from industry professionals in an effort to educate students and the general public so they can make more informed career decisions. The career we are highlighting today is attorney. I'm excited to be joined by Kris Fendrock, partner at Myers, Brier, and Kelly. Welcome, Kris. Please introduce yourself to our viewers.
Sure. My name is Kris Fendrock, as Bill said. I'm an attorney at Myers, Brier, and Kelly. I have worked there for about 12 years now, actually working my 13th year. I started with the firm directly out of law school. I have an undergraduate degree from the University of Texas in mechanical engineering, and then I worked for about 4 years in the semiconductor industry, and then ultimately decided to go back to law school. I went to Penn State Dickinson School of Law, which there's a division on how it should be preferenced, but in Carlisle. And then straight after that, I started with the firm, and I've been there ever since. I mainly practice corporate transactions, startup businesses, as well as estate planning and estate administration, along with some elder law issues such as, nurse home, those types of things, nursing home care. So I am not a litigator like you see on TV. I'm more of a behind the scenes, sit at my all day type of lawyer.
Good. We're actually going to ask about how attorneys are portrayed on TV, so we're going to get to that. First question, very generally, what does an attorney do? I guess that's a pretty broad question, but could you give our viewers an idea of what an attorney does?
Sure. So attorneys can do anything. It's a great educational background. You can actually practice law, which is what I do in a law firm. And so my day-to-day is, meet with clients, determine what their needs are, if it's writing up a contract, reviewing a lease, buying another business, do they need wills put in place? Do they need trust? Do they need estate planning to avoid, taxes? All sorts of things like that. Other attorneys actually work in what's called litigation, which means that they handle lawsuits. So if somebody's getting sued or they want to sue somebody else, they engage in that process, and they follow the rules that are established by the court and by the state, and they enter into proceedings and complaints and actions. And their litigators are actually the ones that go to the courtroom and sometimes present their cases before a judge. Then there are attorneys that work for corporations. That they're in-house counsel, they provide guidance, and their only client is the business that they serve. And then there are attorneys that do all sorts of other things. They may not even practice law at all, but they have the background, so they understand the legal scope and they understand how the law works. So, it's really kind of it's a broad-based, educational opportunity that could lead you to many different careers and career paths.
Great. And, what are some different types of law that an attorney can practice? I think there's like environmental law, there's business law. I think there's probably tons, but could you tell us some of the more, popular or typical ones?
Sure. So if you were probably to go to the Pennsylvania Bar Institute's website, you would see, or the Bar Association, you would see probably about 50 different subspecialties, and that probably doesn't capture all of them. So, for example, I practice corporate law, estate planning, elder law. There is complex litigation. There is criminal. So there's white-collar criminal, and then there's, which is like, money laundering, those types of offenses. There are, other types of criminal cases such as, DUI, drug possession, those types of things. There's, like you said, environmental law. There's lawyers that practice only like with public utilities, bankruptcy. I could probably go on forever. I should probably pull up a list. There's administrative law, Social Security, workers' comp, unemployment, employment and labor, I mean, it just goes on and on and on as to what you can practice in your specialty.
So you really, so students or, individuals, they really can specialize into their area of interest, it sounds like.
Sure. So, I mean, I know that you hear about like entertainment lawyers and, those types of things. I think that's, probably attractive to a lot of people. Sports, being, on the agent side of it, that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, that's not a big business trend, but those opportunities are out there. There's intellectual property. If you have a science background, you can definitely do patents, intellectual property type work. So there's an endless number of areas available to practice law.
So I know that you're not necessarily in a courtroom trying cases, but is the job of an attorney as exciting as portrayed on TV, or is there a different reality? So maybe thinking about some of your colleagues who do go into court, sometimes it's glamorized on television. I guess, what is it really like?
It can be a little bit like it's on TV. I do think that there are moments in those types of things. It's just not as the best cases we see on TV. So I do think that the courtroom can be exciting, that things do come out. They do get heated. Lawyers get, energized, and clients, and because you're fighting for somebody's rights and what they think is right or wrong. So I do think that it can be as exciting on TV. It's just not every day. So courtroom practice, I don't think is as consistent as maybe they show it on TV. And there's always a lot of work and a lot of prep that goes into making sure that you're well prepared and understanding not only the law that you're going to present, but also the facts and the cases that are being presented to the judge. So you have to, prep your client, your witnesses. You have to be prepared, and you have to be prepared as possible to understand what the other side is going to say as well. So I don't know what the ratio would be, but for everything that for every minute you spend on, let's say, TV, there's probably an hour's worth of work that goes behind it. And that's an exaggeration. I'm not exactly sure, but it is a lot of work that goes behind being in the courtroom.
Gotcha. Could you talk a little bit about sort of the process to become a licensed attorney? Everything from, going to college to passing the bar exam, sort of, what is that process like as far as like the length goes?
Sure. So in the state of Pennsylvania, and I know that the rules may be a little bit different in other states, but for Pennsylvania and for most states out there, you're required to have a 4-year degree in an accredited program, and then you apply to a law school. And I think in Pennsylvania, there are maybe 7 or 8 accredited law schools that you can attend. And then law school is an additional 3 years of schooling. And then when you graduate from law school, you sit for the bar exam, which most people study for during the summer after their last year in law school. And it's a 2-day exam. And if you pass the bar exam, then you petition to become a lawyer, and somebody sponsors you, and you are well on your way to practicing law, and you get a license. So it's 4 years of undergraduate, 3 years of law school, and then taking the bar exam and making sure that you meet the other requirements. There's a morality piece to it as well. You, without certain exceptions, you're not supposed to have a felony. Generally, misdemeanors are taken on a case-by-case basis, but otherwise you have to be of good moral standing in the community in order to actually get a license.
Great. And I love asking this question. What is the best part about your job? What do you actually love about being an attorney?
I like the fact that I get to help people. So, and we get to solve problems. That's kind of the big piece of it. I really like to, with an engineering background, I really like to solve problems and figure out ways that people can do things that save taxes or, are the most advantageous for their business, for their family, those types of things. So those are kind of the 2 highlights of my job, is that it's very problem solving, which I like, and it's at the end of the day, the result is that you help somebody out with their problem, which is, I find, very rewarding.
Great. How about the most challenging part of being an attorney?
I think the most challenging part, at least for me, is sitting at my desk all day. which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it does, there's a lot of work that goes into it. And then, I think that's probably it. I think for me, in addition, is, being a working mom, is definitely tough because, your clients sometimes become like your children and they need attention as well. So, which is not a bad thing,
yeah.
But it's definitely, for me, probably the most difficult is the work-home balance. But for the most part, because I like my job, it's not overly stressful.
How about continuing education or professional development? Is it required or is it just important?
So we are required to perform 12 hours of continuing legal education every year. And 2 of those hours must be in ethics, so we have to be remain ethical attorneys. I am also working on obtaining my certified elder law attorney certification, and so that in addition requires on average about 15 continuing education requirements every year, specifically in the realm of elder law and legal issues that affect the elderly. So that's in addition to the requirements that the state bar has to maintain your license.
Great. How about skills? What type of people or technical skills do you feel is important for someone to be successful as an attorney?
I think you have to be a good listener. I think you have to be detail oriented. I think you have to be caring. You have to care about what other people are really saying in order to really be able to help them. Problem solving, definitely. I think diligence and trying to get to understand what their needs are and what the law says. And I think creativity. I think, you have to be creative in trying to find solutions that are maybe not typical of what other attorneys practice or what other attorneys do. I think those are kind of what I would consider to be the kind of broad-based, good qualities of an attorney.
Sure. And what's the one thing you now know about being an attorney that you wish you knew when you started, I guess approximately 12 years ago?
That's a good question. I don't know that there's anything that would have changed my mind, I guess, to put it in a different way. I think that I still would be an attorney today if I knew what I know today, what I knew 12 years ago. So I really like my job. I like what I do. I like interacting with my clients. I like helping. So I don't know that there's something. I just think that it is a lot of work and it's a lot of hours. So that's kind of the big thing. But I knew that going in, and I had the advantage of having a job prior to going to law school. So it wasn't unfamiliar to me to have to put in long hours and long days. So
sure.
That's probably what I hear though the most is what people wish they knew is that it's more work than they expected, or it's a longer day.
Sure. Yeah. What advice would you give to a student or an individual who is considering pursuing a career as an attorney?
I think that if someone's looking for like an 8-to-5 job, then an attorney is maybe not for them because you work until the work is done. So that's important. So if you're looking for something that's steady, and then, in the beginning, like I said, not every attorney job is the same. So if you're wanting to work for a firm, or if you wanted to be on your own private practice, or if you wanted to practice law in the traditional sense, it is long hours. You may have a little bit of a different experience. It's not in the type of practice that I have. In-house counsel maybe might be a little bit more flexible, but I think that's an important consideration in people that want to do it because it is a long journey. It's 4 years of college, it's 3 years of law school, and to get at the end of it and realize that the hard work continues if you're going to go work for a firm is an important thing to understand.
Sure. And finally, is there anything else you'd like to say about your profession? Anything maybe that we haven't covered?
I don't think so. Where I feel very lucky that I found a place that I really enjoy working with. I work with great people. I get exposed to great opportunities. I get to meet great people, like you and Katie. And I think all of that is kind of, as a result of the career that I've chosen. So I guess that would be kind of my final thoughts on being an attorney is that it is something that I enjoy. So.
Great. Well, Kris, on behalf of Educational Opportunity Centers, I want to thank you so much for sharing your experiences and your knowledge and your passion for the law. I know I learned a lot, and I'm sure our viewers did too. So thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Take care.